Okay, boys and girls, today's lesson is going to demonstrate to you how you can create your own Mexican traditional huipil, which is a garment worn by the Mexican people, and it's brightly colored and it's stitched with lace and ribbons. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a large sheet of colored paper. You're going to get a choice of colored paper that you'd like to use, and we're going to use painted paper strips and shaping scissors, paint and yarn to create ours today. So I'm just going to move this one to the side, and I'm going to use this color. Okay, and the very first thing that we need to do is to fold it in half, so hot dog style. And when you fold something in half, you want to make sure that the corners match together. So mine are matching together, and then press it down. Get your shoulder partner to help you, and if they can't help you, then raise your hand and I'll give you a hand. Now, my paper's folded in half, and I want to make sure that I draw on the edge where it's folded. So if you see, this is my fold. I'm going to close it up again. And where the fold is, I'm going to draw a triangle. Well, I'm just going to draw a straight line right across a diagonal line. I want to make sure that I've drawn it in the right place, so when I open it up, I know I have because it's in the middle. And I'm going to close it again. On the other side, I'm going to draw a shorter diagonal line. With my scissors, I'm going to cut across the two lines that I've just drawn. So I'm going to keep it folded, so it means I've cut it off twice. I know now that when I open it up, I will have a garment that is symmetrical, which means even on both sides. So when I open it up now, what I've created is a neckline and little shoulder caps. Now, when I fold it again, what I'd like to do with my scissors at the base of my garment is to add a fringe, just like a hem. So you can see what I'm doing with my scissors. I'm just going to go along and fringe, knit, knit, knit. Mind your fingers as you do this. And just cut it, and there I've got myself a nice fringe. Now I'm going to open it up again. I'm going to turn it over because this is the side that I drew on, and I'm going to get some yarn. I'm going to go to the yarn box, and I'm going to pick a colour that I like, and I'm going to get a piece of cardboard. Now I've got my yarn, and I'm going to put my yarn, just going to hold the start of it there, and I'm going to wrap it around the cardboard. Okay, wrap, 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 and there it is. And then with my scissors, I'm going to cut right through the middle, which means I might have a little tufty at the end, but it means I've just cut a whole load of yarn and it's all the same length. So I'm looking at the back of my huipil, and I'm getting liquid glue, and I'm going to run a glue line across. Okay, lots of glue, that's fine. And I'm going to press the yarn and create an additional fringe. See how I'm doing? I'm keeping it fairly tight. There we go. And I'm going to do that until I fill up the whole back edge. So it's going to be a nice fringe running along. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to make sure that that's completely dry. And what we could do, if we need to, is actually add a little bit of tape across the back just to secure it even more. And I'm actually going to do that right now because I don't want it to be wet when I do the rest of it. So I'm just going to get a piece of tape, and I'll help you with this. I'll put a piece of tape on it with you. I'm just going to do that. So the glue is going to hold it in place. The tape is actually going to make sure that it doesn't all seep out all over the desk, because when I want to turn it round, now you can see I've got this fringe going on. So you want to do that before you start painting. I'm going to set this one to the side. here's another one that I started working on, and I'm going to give you painted strips. This is painted paper, and you're going to now, if you wish, use shape scissors to cut the edges off to give it a shape, so you can see by this one, or this one which is just completely straight, which I didn't shape at all. And we're using the strips of painted paper, which has lots of texture on it, to break up the whippy. And then what I like to do is also to add some extra. So I take another strip and I cut it in half, and here we have to use the glue stick. Okay, and I'm going to put a bit of glue there, and I'm going to put a collar around the neckline as well, so I'm adding additional texture. So now I've done all my cutting and all my gluing. Now I'm ready to draw my patterns and designs and ready to paint. So you need to think of lines and designs that you really like. So one of my favorites has always been the zigzag. So I'm going to draw in my zigzag. I'm also going to draw in a line there. I want to do an extra color up there. Another one that I really love are loop lines. I also like wavy lines, and I'm going to think of another one. What would I like to put here? You know what, I'm actually going to do some shapes. I think that would be really cool to add some geometric shapes. You boys and girls can do whatever designs you like. Now with a brush I'm going to start painting, but apart from that I'm going to give you liquid paints that you can see here. I'm going to start at the very top and I'm going to start painting in. So really what I'm doing is I'm painting in the background first, and then when the background's done, if I go back to my original one that I started earlier and just swap it out, when I started painting in the background I was then able to add designs on top of the base colour that I've created. So you are also going to receive circular discs, okay? So you can add in those designs on top. And with these circular sponges you can dip them into just one colour, so you don't mix the colours up, and then press and press and press and press, and you add these extra designs. And I've done one in red here, and then on top I've actually taken my brush. Always when I wash my brush I always like to use a tissue to take all the moisture out, and I've dipped it into an additional colour, and then I can add dots to it. If I want to do additional designs with my background that's painted here, I can then add additional painted texture, painted lines and painted shapes. So that's what we do. That's what we're going to do to create our traditional Mexican huipil. Now it's your turn, boys and girls. Let's go and make some art.